Cloud. Okay, cool. All right. So let's hop right in. I think we have, you're so welcome, Daniel. Um, okay. So again, just to reintroduce myself, I am Andre Rishi. I'm the Graduate Business Career Coordinator over at Graduate Business Career Services, working hand in hand with your graduate programs team, Lindsay, and your academic advisors. So wonderful to meet you all. Like I said earlier, I recognize some faces, some names on here. So it's all good. Um, Basic housekeeping for Zoom. It's like it's interactive. You can. It's always great if you have if I can see a face. If not, totally understand. Totally understand. But at least for now, just mute your mic until unless you have some questions, and you can unmute it, drop some questions in the chat, and that works just fine for me. All right. Okay. So what are we going to do today? We're going to talk about resumes. And, the purpose of this workshop, the goals of the workshop is just to sort of take a look at how you should be thinking about your resume now that you're stepping into graduate school and once you graduate beyond. It might be that some of you have not touched on your resume in years, right? Until you maybe until you had to apply for grad school, right? It might be some of you are up to date on your resume. Some information I'm going to share might be new to some of you. Some of you might say, you know what, I already got this, and if so, that's great. But I'm hoping I can share some information with you today that you'll find beneficial. It's meant to be very high level. So I'm going to touch on a number of things. It's really just to get your mind thinking about how you want to utilize your resume to position yourself moving forward. And if you find that right now you need to update it or not. And then after today, you can always make a one-on-one appointment with myself or Michelle, and we can sit down and go more in detail in regards to matters on your resume as it relates to you specifically. But right now, it's just really high level. I want to touch on, providing you hopefully with some strategies you can think about when it comes to your resume, helping you maybe modernize your resume or helping you with tailoring your resume to specific opportunities, job opportunities that might be out there that you are applying for. My hope today is to provide you some tools that you can take a look at that I think you should give some thought to learning or having under your belt, and also tools that can help you strengthen your resume. Okay. All right. Also, we're going to touch on maybe some platforms that are going to help you work on projects and the like as well. If you see me looking over to the right, I'm just checking to see who wants to be led into the room for the Zoom room. Okay, we let somebody in. All right. So let's move forward. So the first step that I want to touch on is really just sort of modernizing your resume and some things I just want you to keep top of mind. All right. So when it comes to what to keep top of mind, um, really things like formatting your resume, and when it comes to formatting your resume, I always tell students that when it comes to building out your resume, you are going to hear a million different ways to do your resume. Everyone and their mother has their opinion on how you should put together your resume. I am 1,000,001. I'm 1,000,001. That's me, right? I, my main concern is really only two things. When you are building out your resume should do two things. Number one, the content and the layout of your resume should quickly help a recruiter know what box to put you in. They shouldn't have to be looking around the resume trying to figure out, okay, he did this or she did this, they did this undergrad, now they have a grad school, okay, then they're working here. On average, recruiters spend about 6 seconds looking at a resume before they decide to move on. So you have to, lay out your information, your content on your resume, format it in a way that quickly grabs the attention of the recruiter. I want you to once we finish this workshop, your mindset's going to be that I'm going to develop my resume in a way where I am going to psychologically get into the head of the recruiter and I'm going to steer the recruiter as to how I want them to see me. I don't want them trying to figure out because they may get it wrong. And I don't want them to do that. So that's number one. The second thing is your resume should be able to successfully pass an applicant tracking system. How many people have heard of an applicant tracking system? Just thumbs up. people you heard about. Okay, cool, awesome, awesome, great, great. So those are the two things. If you can do those two things, you're like 80% there. You're winning, right? All right. Another thing is with resumes, you really want clean resumes. I call them plain Jane resumes. Things to stay away from are like having sometimes people get fancy, put like two different columns on a resume. Maybe one side has their name and a list on the right. It says, here are my strengths and skills and whatnot. On the other side, it has content of their work experience. Now, with applicant tracking systems, even though they are getting better at parsing and reading the data on a resume, sometimes they have problems doing so. So I'm going to say you want to stay away from having your resume have like columns or like icons, like the phone icon, the LinkedIn icon, um, on your resume. And let me be more specific. I don't want you to put that on the resume that you're going to use to apply for the job online. However, you may have those icons on the resume that you directly email to a recruiter where it's a human being who's looking at it, or you're at a career fair and you put that in the hands of a recruiter and they're reading it. The applicant tracking system, as it's scanning your resume, it may not know what that phone icon is. I know you're just saying that's my mobile phone number. I know that the LinkedIn icon means this is my LinkedIn profile. I know the two columns is just your way of separating the data, but the applicant tracking system, sometimes it hits a glitch, doesn't know how to read it, may kind of reject your resume. I don't want you to go through that. So we're going to have a clean, simple, plain Jane resume. And I'm going to show you some resumes on what I'm talking about. So it's not just me, you're not just seeing a talking head, right? Another thing that we want to focus on are things such as making sure that your resume has metrics on there, right? You're showing outcomes. This is something that's really important. So let me do this. I am going to let me bring up a couple of resumes to look at. Give me 1 second here, and I'm going to share my screen. Let's look good. I'm gonna go with this one. Let's move this over here, and I'm gonna see. Let's go with I'm gonna go through see a couple of resumes here. All right. Another thing is that some of you, when it comes to your resumes, you might be going through a transition in your career, right? So that's something that I really want to focus on as well. So I have two resumes in front of me, and we're gonna sort of take a look at these. Can I? No, let's leave it alone. Let's not mess with stuff right now. Now's not the time to experiment, Andre. Leave it alone. All right. Okay. So we're looking at two resumes here. The resume to the left is what I'm going to call this one here. Is it might be what I'm going to call it your basic resume. And this is of a student who, hey, they want to sort of get into finance, but maybe they have, they've done some accounts payable, receivable. They worked as a bank teller before. Before that, they worked as a cashier. But they really want to step into a financial analyst role. But the resume as a whole doesn't really speak that language. It doesn't tell that story, right? And it's like students like, well, how? I'm okay. I'm in the MS financial analytics program, but my whole past experience has nothing really to do with analytics. So how am I going to convince a recruiter to take me seriously if I want to move into an analytics role, right? All right. So one thing that we're going to see here, like I said, again, this resume is accounts payable receivable. This accounting, bank teller, okay, all right, and some cashier roles. So and if you notice here, the format of the resume, starting from the very top, they put their education first, right? The next thing that the student did is they went into their professional experience. Then they went into their skills. And that's just their skills there. And they put things like customer service, cash handling, POS, point of sale systems, team collaboration, and the like. Then languages at the bottom. Now, like I said, recruiters on average spend about 6 seconds looking at a resume before they decide to move on. So that means this top half of your resume here, the top half, I am going to call this is going to be like your prime real estate on the resume. That's where you want to grab their attention. That's where you need to quickly reel them in with the hopes that they will move on further. This person with this resume put their skills at the very bottom as if they're assuming that the recruiter will even get down there and read it. They may not. They might stop right after accounts payable, receivable, bank teller, and they might just say, all right, maybe this isn't really for me. Let me look for a stronger candidate. That's not really what I'm looking for. So now let's hop over to the resume on the right. And we're going to take a look at the resume on the right. Now, the first thing you're going to notice on this one has a professional summary. Now, I'm sure some of you have a professional summary in your resume, some of you don't. Some recruiters like it, some don't really care for it much. It's 50-50. The reason why I like a professional summary is because it's your way of painting the picture of how you want the recruiter to see you. All right. So this person says here, um, an MS in financial analytics candidate with strong foundational skills in financial modeling, data analysis, and visualization. Demonstrated ability to extract insights from large data sets using Excel, SQL, and Tableau. Eager to transition into a financial analyst role by leveraging analytical project experience and a keen interest in forecasting and strategic decision making. Okay, so now when a recruiter reads that up top, one of the key things that they said here, they're looking to transition into a financial analyst role. They also mentioned that this person, when the recruiter's going to say, okay, this person says they know how to do financial modeling, data analysis, and visualization, data visualization. That's good. They know how to work with large data sets. Oh, they can use Excel, SQL, and Tableau. That's good. Okay. All right. And they want to leverage that. They have an interest in forecasting and strategic decision making with that. Okay, great. All right. So that right there is a lot stronger than the resume on the left, which starts with the education. Now, a lot of people with this resume on the left will say, but Andre, I want them to know that I'm getting my master's degree. That's why I put my education up top. Right? I get you. I get that. But many times, if you already have work experience many times trumps the education. That's not to belittle your master's degree, but what recruiters are looking for is really experience, preferably hands-on experience. Your education is like icing on the cake. That's going to bump you up even more. So, but that wouldn't necessarily be the first driver that you want to show the recruiter, believe it or not. You want to start with painting the picture. So now, with this professional summary, the recruiter is now expecting that everything they see that goes when they look down the resume is going to be in harmony, what you mentioned up here. They're going to be looking for financial modeling, data analytics, SQL, Excel, Tableau, and the like. The next thing that the recruiter might say is, maybe I may or may not have a lot of time to really get into the resume like that. So I just want to quickly see what's their tech stack or their skills. So right after your professional summary, you're going to hit them immediately with your skills section. You're not going to put your skills at the very bottom, assuming that the recruiter is going to look at the bottom. You're going to go right from your professional summary. You painted a picture of who you are. Boom, you're going to go, here's my skills. And this person broke it into, they call it core competencies here. You can call it skills. This person says, my strengths. And when they say strengths, what they're really saying here is, this is my wheelhouse. This is the area that I work in, right? What do I do? Here are the job functions that I do: financial modeling, forecasting, budgeting, market research, data analytics. And this is really important. Why? Because this is telling the recruiter, this is the bucket that you can put me in, right? This is where you can plot me right here. The recruiter's like, great, thank you, got it. Then after that, you're going to get into things like the software applications that you know, Excel, SQL, Tableau, and the like. Okay. Now, moving down, you're going to notice on the resume, the person did not go into their professional experience, which is down here. They actually led with their projects and they called it relevant projects. They created a relevant project section. Why? Because the student is saying, I don't really have any experience in that. I was a bank teller, I did cashier, accounts payable, accounts receivable. That's not financial analytics, right? So they can say, all right, I got it. Let me put some projects I worked on, whether it's in school or independently, that really highlight and showcase financial analytics skills. And these do carry weight with recruiters. So this person said, all right, look, I have a financial modeling acquisition project that I did using Forage. I have a marketing trend forecasting project where I was utilizing tools such as SQL. This one, a retail profitability analysis project where I created dashboards on Tableau, and I created dashboards to do things like track profitability, season demand, and the like. Then they got into their work experience, and they didn't necessarily put all the work experience on there. They just listed the two most recent experiences. Then they put their resume at the very bottom. All right. So this right here, the layout, and the layout again is just plain Jane, no columns, no icons on there, and the like. And again, leading with professional summary, skills, and relevant projects. And if you notice, let me go back to the resume here, what I call the basic resume. So this resume right here, if you look at their skills, the skills that this person originally put down were things like, hey, like I'm great at customer service, cash handling, team collaboration, time management, all those things that people say, yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. The reason why I don't like that is because I call these are more their interpersonal skills. These are things that are they're not tangible, right? Anybody and their mom can say, I'm a team player. I'm great at customer service. I can handle cash, right? I'm good at time management. Really, if you want to show that you're good at time management, you're going to weave that into your work experience. You're going to put that in the bullet points. Anything that you want to say that you collaborate well with people, you work well under pressure, you can multitask, you're going to weave that into your bullet points. The only skills that I really truly want you to list up here are what we're going to call like your hard skills or the job functions that you know how to do. People, you can't fake financial modeling. Either you can do it or you can't. You can't fake forecasting. Either you can do it or you can't. But everybody can put up there that they work good with people customer service. Hire you, figure out you're terrible, right? But we're gonna say hopefully that's not the case. All right. Okay, so that's one resume. Let me sort of dip into one more resume, and then I do want to hear questions if anyone has any questions. So let me see if I can bring up some others. Hold on, let me see if I have a question here. Let me see. How can you account for gaps if you're only choosing a few to list? It really depends, and it depends on what those gaps are. The gap could be that you were laid off. Maybe you were downsized, right? And if so, that's okay. The gap might be, yeah, that's totally okay. But if you have projects on your resume, you can say, hey, look, maybe I had a gap, but I was building up my skills in the meantime, so I worked on some projects. Maybe the gap is because you went back to school. Maybe the gap is because maybe you're a parent and just maybe, and this happens a lot with women, they may take some time off just to like, hey, I just had a baby and I thought I was going to work, but I think I might take the first 2 years off just to take care of my baby and come back to work, right? Or the gap might be again that you're back in school, you're in graduate school, and you're like, I really, really wanted to focus on my studies. So generally speaking, you just have to find a legitimate way to talk about that gap on your resume. But gaps aren't necessarily a bad thing, and they won't disqualify you. You just have to find a way to talk about it. Now, obviously, if you were fired from a position, that's different. You're gonna have to find a way to discuss that. The gap could also be that just the industry is having a lot of layoffs, especially in the tech space. That's real right now. After COVID, things have just been crazy in the job market. Been really crazy. Now with AI coming online, even more stressful for people in the job market, right? So um, I wouldn't stress too much about it. But again, if there's something specific to you that you want to talk about, please do schedule an appointment with me and we will talk about that in more detail as it relates to you. But that's a good question, Brian. So thank you so much for that. All right, so let me do this. I want to see if I can bring up another. Let's do this. I'm going to bring up some more examples and then I want to move into some other things here. All right, so let's take a look at, let's do this here. Let's see here. All right, give me one second. I want to find an example. Let's see if I can find operation. Let me see, operations. Let's see what examples I have here. Let's see. What's this one for? Information systems. I have one information systems, marketing. Let's just look at a marketing one. Let's go with marketing. Let's go with marketing. And let's go with that. And then we'll jump into some other things. Uh, Marketing. marketing. All right. So let's do this. I'm going to share my screen in 1 second. I just want to load this up, make sure I got that right. Let's see here. I've got so many things open up here. Marketing, information systems. All right, the marketing. Okay, great. So let me share my screen. Just want to make sure I'm not sharing the wrong thing. All right, let's go back here again. And I'm curious, for many of you in here, are you going, what program are you in? Is it MBA? Is it information systems? Is it marketing finance? I want to make sure as best as I can, and I'm showing resumes that are really relevant to who's here. Yes, Stephanie, you're going to have access to recording this. MBA, 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 a lot of MBAs. All right, so let's just do this. All right. So bear with me 1 second. Let me do this then. Let me stop. I'm going to see if let me share if I can share like a more of an MBA focused resume sample then. Let's do that. Give me 1 second. Let's find, let's if I can find one. Okay, let's do this. That's not really MBA, is that operation still? All right, bear with me one moment here. Why am I not seeing it? All right, give me 1 second. Operations. All right, so I'm going to close these out. Let's do this. I'm going to close these out. Bear with me one moment. Live, this is a live performance right here. Let's do this. I'm going to close this. I'm going to close a couple. Let's close this, and this. And let me see if I can open at least one of them. I may or may not have one that's specifically MBA, but let me see if this will do it. Let's see. Let's see here. Digital. Okay, this one is not really MBA per se, but you know what? I'm just going to stick with marketing. And so, because I know some MBA people, they might do marketing. So let's just do this with marketing. All right. Yeah, let's do marketing. All right, bear with me. I'm going to close that out again and go back. All right, someone's gonna, and this is right now the time when you're like, I'm going to fast forward in this video. Um, okay, I'm going to do this here. All right, so let me share my screen again. Let's let this young lady in. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. All right, same thing here. So on the left-hand side, again, this is what I'm going to call like your basic resume with a student who's doing a master's MS in marketing analytics. And a lot of people in MBA go the route of marketing as well. So it can relate. It can relate. Now you can see here, this person, they've listed their education first. Here they have the position, the marketing assistant, then the marketing coordinator, then a marketing intern, and then they worked as a student assistant at Long Beach at the bookstore, and they put their skills and language at the bottom, right? Now, we already talked about why this format, this layout isn't the most conducive for success, right? It's not the best format that you can use. Again, if you look at this side, now the right side, the person then went and put in a professional summary, right? So if I go back here, definitely if a recruiter reads this, they'll say, okay, they're going to start a piece of education to get an MS in marketing analytics. Okay, must mean they're interested in marketing. Let me say they did a BS in marketing. Okay. Um, then let's see, they did a marketing assistant, they did marketing coordinator, intern, a student assistant. This is good and all. Okay, good. They're clearly interested in marketing, but I'm looking for maybe like a marketing analyst role and can't see that on the resume yet, but I see that they're studying it. Okay. So the recruiter's thinking, they're going to my, what do I do? Do I give them a chance? Do I not? That's what they're thinking. So on this side, the right side, the person's now they've enhanced the resume, they've improved it. And again, they've included a professional summary. So for this student is saying, hey, look, I'm an MS Marketing Analytics candidate with 4 years of progressive experience in marketing roles. They didn't lie, they said progressive. They said proven track record of using data-driven insights to improve campaign effectiveness, social media engagement, and content performance. Proficient in Tableau, Excel, Python, and SQL, with demonstrated ability to support strategic marketing decisions, seeking to contribute to a digital marketing team by leveraging both creative and analytical skills. Right? So that right there changes the story. So now the recruiter's like, okay, you've given me some tech tools. You've told me that you have a history in marketing, 4 years. They've been progressive roles, so you're moving up. You've worked with data, you worked on campaigns. All right, you've painted a picture for me. Now let's see what's next. And we mentioned before, the next thing they're going to hit them with is their tech stack or their skills. We already talked about strengths. Strengths, again, this is just the wheelhouse. This is your wheelhouse, your area that you kind of thrive in. And this person says, hey, my wheelhouse is marketing analytics, campaign optimization, digital engagement, A/B testing, marketing dashboards, and then getting into tools that they use, right? Projects that they've worked on, they really wanted to highlight that they worked on some tech tools. So they use things such as Tableau to create dashboards, working with SQL to do that, pulling data from SQL. Um, they even show in their projects how they were shown outcomes. This project revealed underperforming segments that could lead to 10% increase in retargeting efficiency, right? They did a project that would help for identify churn reduction using Python. They did email optimization analysis using Excel, and then they got into their professional summary. And if you notice right here, it went on to a second page, and the second page isn't really completely full. Now, some of you in the past, more so than now, I think, how many of you have heard the whole thing of like, hey man, you always want to try to keep it to one resume. Or if you're going to make it two resumes, it should fill up 2 pages. Thumbs up. Like, how many people have actually heard that or not? Yeah? Okay, yes. All right. Nowadays, what I'm seeing from certain recruiters, the general rule of thumb is if you have less than 10 years of work experience, you want to keep it to 1 page, right? More than 10 years of experience, go on to 2 pages, no more than 2 pages, right? However, with that being said, this person has 4 years of experience and they went into 2 pages and it didn't fill up the whole 2 page. It was like a page and a half. This is because the person had projects that they wanted to put on there. This is actually okay because you're putting on content on there to strengthen your position, your candidacy with the recruiter, and that's okay. And if it doesn't fill up the 2 pages, that's okay. The recruiter understands. You just want to put information on the resume that actually highlights, um, you know, areas that you want the recruiter to focus on, right? And this person, I want you to focus on that. I've touched on some data tools. All right. Um, if I if I look here on the professional experience, and actually let me go here actually. Let me look at let me let this person in. Okay. If I look at, let's take a look at this Bright Start marketing on let's call it the before resume, before and after. So this person, they're saying, hey, I created and scheduled social media posts using IG and LinkedIn. I tracked basic campaign performance using built-in analytics. I helped organize marketing collateral and maintain asset library. I coordinated logistics for internal marketing meetings and events. So what this person is doing, they're saying, this person is saying, I did this, 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 I did this. That's all they're doing. They're not showing any outcomes. And a friend, I had a colleague of mine that always used to say, after your bullet point, sometimes you want to ask yourself, okay, if I wrote this bullet point at the end of the bullet point, I should say to myself, so what? Meaning, what is the recruiter going to get from that? You don't want to get into the habit of just listing, I did this, 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 this. Think of your bullet points as two halves. I did this, which led to this. I did this, quantifying came out like this. I did this because of this, right? You're telling a story with the bullet point. The bullet point doesn't just have to be one line, it can go into two. Here, they say here, helped restructure marketing collateral, reducing design request turnaround time by 15.8%. And if you notice, they put 15.8%, right? I'm going to talk about it in a second. The first bullet point, scheduled and managed 3 to 4 weekly social media campaigns, leading to what? Leading to a 22.4% increase in audience engagement, again, showing outcomes. The last one here, supported internal marketing meetings and coordinated event logistics, contributing to a 97.2% on-time delivery rate. So they're not just saying, I did this, but they're showing that they can achieve outcomes. And that's what the recruiter wants to see. Now, you may notice again that you see 22.4%, 15.8%, 97.2%, because normally when you're looking at data, when you're analyzing data from projects that you worked on, it usually comes out like that. It rarely does it come out. I shouldn't say rarely, but it doesn't really always come out like nice whole numbers. 20%, 30%, 50%. You're working with sets of data and it might be point something. So that makes this look even more realistic to the recruiter, right? So just keep that in mind. All right. So it's already 12:35. I want to sort of move on and touch on some other things. But again, this is just meant to be high level of how I want you to start thinking about your resume. If some of you have a resume that you consider your resume to be more basic, maybe you're looking to transition to another career field, you don't really have content on there that relates to where you're trying to go, you're going to start building out your resume with the example that we have on the right. Okay. Some of you may already have that skill. You may have 5, 7 years of experience in your field, but maybe how you're formatting the content on your resume isn't the strongest way to do so. So these examples are going to help you do that. Okay, I'm going to sort of touch on some other things, but before doing that, just wanted to know, is there any questions before I move on? And if not, that's okay too. Let's see here. All right. Okay, so looks like we are good to go. All right, so let's move on. All right. So the next thing that I want to talk about is what you noticed on the resume. It talks about using certain tools and whatnot. So I want to talk about how do you go about building a stronger resume. So I wanted to show you some tools that you can use to do that. So let me hop over to here. Let's close this out. Come on, close. There you go. All right. Here. All right. So just share my screen. All right. Now, some tools we're going to touch on. This tool you're looking at is called JobScan. This tool is going to help you. Anybody here ever heard of JobScan? Or how many people have not heard of JobScan? No. No. Okay. Okay. So JobScan is a tool that helps you. It's going to help you strengthen your resume against a job description. What JobScan allows you to do, it will allow you to upload a job description, upload your resume. It's going to match the two and say, hey, hey Gustavo, hey Brenda, hey Patrick, Daniel, your resume says this, but the job description is really looking for this. So we're going to help you start tweaking and optimizing your resume to more so match the job description. Another feature that JobScan has is that it has sometimes, depending on the company you apply for, it may actually know the applicant tracking system that the company uses. So it will then say, hey, look, I noticed you're applying, you want to match your job description from XYZ company. It's gonna say, hey, I know what ATS they use. So I'm gonna match your resume as if you were applying to that company. So you see how they're looking at it, right? So it's my dashboard here. Let me actually go to the resume, not resume, I'm gonna go to scanning history just to give you, uh, all right, so I have these are a bunch of different job descriptions I have in here. It's gonna store them for you. I'm just gonna click on the first one. So what you do is you will, like I said, you'll upload your job description, upload the resume, and then it's going to give you a match. It's going to say right now you got a 30% match. It's going to say you really want to have about a 75% match. That then it's going to give you a thumbs up and say your resume is really good to apply for that position. Now, I would even say if it gives you like a 50% match and higher, that's good. But if you can hit upwards of 70, even better. Certain things that it lets you do, it will allow you to edit the resume inside the application itself. So it's going to lay out your resume here. So let me see here, right here. Now, when you upload your resume, it's going to break down. This is the second screen after I've looked at the resume and the job description side by side. Now I've clicked on what they call the power editing tool. This power editing tool is going to say, hey, these areas that are marked in red is red. Your hard skills is 12 items marked in red. Soft skills is marked in red and the likes, and say, these are some areas that we think we can improve on. So I click on hard skills. Um, it pulls some things from the job description saying, hey, I think these things might be important on the job description that you should have in your resume. Now, maybe it is, maybe it's not. Right? You might look and say, well, maybe it's not really, but you can remove that from the scan. But let me see, let's say, let me see presentations or let me see, doing presentations. I'm going to click on that. It's going to say, hey, look, based on your resume, I'm going to generate three possible bullet points that you can use. And it's going to say, did you do any of these things? Did you ever deliver impactful presentations on MS information systems topics to diverse audience, but with enhancing understanding of engagement? You might say, not really, no. Okay. All right, then. Well, then, did you develop and present comprehensive presentations that just outlined information system strategies and projects? Um, Maybe. Okay, what about leverage? Did you ever leverage strong presentation skills to communicate complex MS information systems concepts effectively to stakeholders? You might say, yeah, I did that. I did that. Then what you can do is let me see here. You can click on this, copied it, and then you can go in here. Let's say I want to add it here, and I can paste it in right there on the resume, right? You can even go in and say, well, this is kind of close, or this is kind of close. I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to change it up. I'm going to write what I want in here. I'm just going to change it up a little bit, right? You can do that as well. Well, now, when you're finished with this, you can save it and you will be able to download this. You'll be able to download this in a MS Word and a PDF format. Now, the thing that I don't care for this, what I don't like is the output of this is that I don't like the formatting. So what I normally tell students is when this downloads in an MS format, take it and use the formatting layout that I provided you. Just rearrange it in that order. Just download it in MS Word and rearrange it in the format that we discussed. So this application job scan, you're going to go to career link. Let's see here. Once you select career link, you're going to go to resources and you go to online tools and you're going to find job scan right here. So that's going to find it. So job scan is going to be one tool that you can use that's going to help you build out your resume. It's going to help optimize your resume towards an applicant tracking system. Let me do it. I'm going to actually copy a link. I'm going to put this in the chat. This right here, we're going to have a workshop coming up on September the 2nd that is going to just show you how to use job scans. I'm going to put that there so you can copy that. You can just open it up here. And then in October, we're going to have another workshop on job scan that's not going to touch on how to use it. It's more so just going to touch on, oops, I put to Stephanie. I didn't put it to everybody. So Stephanie, you got that directly. Stephanie's like, thank you. Let's do this. I'm going to put to everyone here. There you go. Let me copy this, copy the link. Let's put this to everyone. All right. So this is for everyone. So you have both links. So these are for the events that are coming up. All right. Now for let's sort of touch on some other tools and what you want to learn how to use. So Excel is another one. When you are now as a student at CSU Long Beach, you actually have access in your dashboard to LinkedIn Learning. So that's something you can take advantage of. I'm going to say that when you graduate from this program, particularly if you're looking to work in finance, operations, any working with any type of data, try to do your best to get yourself to at least an intermediate level in Excel. If you can get to advanced, great. But even if you can get to intermediate level, that's good. But LinkedIn Learning has um, has courses on Excel that you can take advantage of. Okay. All right. So the next tool that I want you to have under your belt, do you remember when we looked at the resume, you saw tools like Tableau? How many of you have heard of Tableau? I'm sure some of you probably have. Okay, great. Um, Thumbs up if anybody uses Tableau or has used Tableau. Not yet. All right. So for those of you who don't know, Tableau is a data visualization tool. It allows you to pull in data from Excel or pull in from SQL. I believe it even you can pull in from Python and the like, and it'll help you show that data in beautiful, wonderful graphs and charts in a far more dynamic way than Excel can, right? Tableau for students will allow you to sign up for Tableau for free as a CSU Long Beach student. Your .edu email address, you'll get a license to use this for 1 year for free. 1 year for free. I recommend that you do that. Let me go here real quick. For those of you who are like, well, what is, I'm going to say Tableau. I'm going to say dashboards, just to give you an idea of what these dashboards look like. So what you see on the screen here, this is what Tableau can do, right? It will be able to create dynamic dashboards like this where you can plug in information and the data on the page will update. It'll make you look like a superstar. You'll be able to present information to company stakeholders, to management, plug it in and numbers change, graph change. And you can say, I know how to explain complex data in a simplified way to key stakeholders, clients, management, and the like. It'll make you look really good, right? So Tableau is a resource that you want to look at. And if you notice here, point number 3, they even have training videos that you can learn how to use Tableau for free. For free. So this is something that you want to pay attention to, Tableau. All right. So moving right along, after Tableau, so we looked at the job scan, Excel, where to learn Excel, Tableau. The next thing that you want to take a look at is um, Alteryx. Anybody ever heard of Alteryx or no? No. Okay. Alteryx is a no-code data analytics tool. Now that many of you are getting your MBA, you're at the graduate level, you're going to get your MBA, step into industry. We all know that the big thing that companies are working with are large data sets, right? Now, Alteryx it works with large data, but the benefit of it is that you don't need to know how to code. It's a no-code data analytics tool. It would benefit you as an MBA student to start getting these tools under your belt if you don't already know how to use it. By the time you graduate, if you're at an intermediate level in Excel, if you can use tools, a data visualization tool like Tableau, you know how to pull in, create dashboards, pulling in information from Excel, and knowing how to use, again, Tableau, that's going to make you look good. Um, Alteryx is used in a lot of industries. Maybe you've never heard of it, but now when you start looking for jobs or so on LinkedIn, you may start noticing in the job description where it lists out responsibilities in the preferred section. Sometimes you'll see it mentioned, and Alteryx is preferred. Or if you know Alteryx, that's preferred, right? So Alteryx created this tool because it realized many people are not going to learn how to code. And if many of you went down the MBA route, it probably means you don't want to do any of that coding stuff. But you're going to have to know how to work with data to some degree, right? So this is a tool that you're going to want to know how to use. This is just showing you what it looks like. It's a node-based tool. Um, it's a drag and drop tool. There is a little bit of a learning curve to Alteryx for sure. I'm not gonna lie about that. It is a little bit of a learning curve, but I've seen students learn how to use it and be successful at it. Alteryx also has what's called the Alteryx Spark. So what is this? This is just like Tableau. This Alteryx allows students, if you have a .edu email address, same thing, you can sign up for this for free. And you get a license, use it for free. And let me go back to here. And they also have, let me look at resources. Hold on. Can I look at resources? Is it in resources? Is it Academy? Let's go see Academy. Yes, so they have learning paths. They'll even teach you how to use it. And they have certifications. You can get micro credentials, and a lot of these micro credentials are free. If you notice here, just the Alteryx Foundation micro credential is free. This one, machine learning, free. Another one, free. You really only start having to pay. Let's go to designer or desktop. Once you start getting to these advanced levels here to the right. So once you start getting to the expert level, that's when you start paying for the certificate. But before that, it's free. So if you can get some certifications under your belt, that's great. You'll go to your MBA program, you'll start picking up some data tools, and you will get to have that on your resume to show recruiters. With that being said, we actually, let me copy this. I'm going to drop this in the chat as well. Okay. So I just dropped in the chat. We are going to have an Alteryx virtual workshop on September 9th, where we're going to have two guest speakers come in. They are former employees of Alteryx. They're going to introduce to our students what Alteryx is and how to use it. It's not going to be a technical workshop. They're not going to get into the technicalities of how you use it, how to use the application. It's more so going to give you an overview of how it's used in industry, what it's used for, why you should learn to use it, the benefit of being an MBA student and knowing how to use these no-code data analytics tools. This is for your benefit, right? Okay. So, moving right along. The next tool that I want you to think about using as it relates to your resume, and again, this is more so for those of you who are looking to transition into another career field, but you maybe don't have that experience yet. You're thinking, how am I going to put projects on my resume? What should I do? You can use tools like Forage. So Forage, and you're going to find Forage again. Let's say you're in your dashboard. You click on career link. Career link opens up. You clicked on resources. You clicked on online tools. You scroll down here and here's Forage. It's inside of career link. Forage is going to be a platform that offers what they call virtual experiences. That's a really fancy way of saying projects that you're going to work on. Projects, right? Okay. These projects have been curated and put together by major companies in the United States and even some internationally. So EA, Electronic Arts, GE, Citi, PwC, who else? See KPMG. Let me hop over the page for JP Morgan, CBRE, Comcast, and the like. Okay, so let me see. Um, let's see if I just I'm just gonna click on. Let's just do this here. Give me 1 second. I want to go to up here, explore. I want to view all jobs. Okay. Let me see career interest. Let's say if I wanted to get into, let me see, actually healthcare. Let's see what does it have for healthcare? Let's put apply. Pharmacy technician, comma, molecular. Let's look at this one, molecule to market, for those who wanted to work in the healthcare sector. I'm going to click on this one. So what is this a molecule to market project by Pfizer about? What is this all about? All right, so once you are inside Forage, this is what I normally like to do. Here's some things you want to pay attention to. Um, Up here, it gives you an idea of how long it takes to complete the project, about 4 to 5 hours. It's self-paced. No one's breathing down your back trying to tell you, come on, you got to finish this. It's self-paced, right? So I look at that. How long is it going to take? This is for the company Pfizer, large company in the pharmaceutical space. I also want to look at what skills am I going to learn in this project. So this project is saying you're going to develop things such as you're going to learn the developmental process, brand marketing, strategy, reimbursement, pricing, what's it, communication, stakeholder management, and the like. So, okay, all right. And the reason why I'm paying attention to this is because this is going to give me a clue as to how I'm going to be able to start wording bullet points on my resume. I implemented strategic XYZ on this Pfizer project, right? All right, let me scroll down here. I'm just going to give you an a video that's going to talk about the project. Then it's going to get into the tasks. Task one, task two, task three, task four, and then the end. So some of your tasks, what are you going to have to do? It's going to say you're a junior brand manager at Pfizer and a new medicine is about to launch. The process for transforming a scientific discovery from the lab to on the shelf at a local pharmacy or hospital. So you're going to be responsible for, it looks like, getting this to market, right? So then it's going to say some things you're going to do. You're going to read resources to understand more about how the pharmaceutical industry works. You're going to review the molecule, the medicine diagram. Then it's going to give you a quiz to work on. Task two, um, choose one of the therapy areas below for your medicine to be focused on. What it's going to say here, you're going to prepare the material that Pfizer will submit to the NICE to start the reimbursement process. Step three, you're going to read about how to write brand positioning statements. You're going to create a slide with your medicine's brand positioning statement. You're going to pitch your statement in a video recording to the VP of marketing. Task four, develop a targeting and strategy PowerPoint presentation for how to hold these conversations with prescribers in your chosen therapy area. So it's going to walk you through how to do some things. So for those of you who may be looking to get into the into pharmaceuticals or healthcare, this is a project that you may want to look at to do that. Normally at the end of it, it will say, here's a bullet point or snippet that you can put on your resume. I don't like the snippet that they give you. I like to sort of break the bullet point down, really sort of highlighting key takeaways of what I did on this virtual experience, right? I think we can word it better than how Forage wants to word it. I'm just going to click on this product management one, see if I can just show you some things in here. Okay, great. This is what I wanted to show you. Another thing to pay attention to, you notice here where it says talent network. Sometimes up here in Forage on the particular project with the company, it may tell you if they are accepting applications. Sometimes it'll say there's an internship opening or a certain position that's opened. So you, by knowing that and working on this project, you can then apply, and even in your cover letter or so to the company on your resume, you can put that down that you worked on this particular project, and then submit your application to the company as well. It could potentially give you a leg up, and it's your way of getting an idea. The whole goal of Forge is to let you get an idea of what it's like to possibly potentially work at these companies, what that workflow is like. Same thing here with skills, what you're going to learn on the project. Same thing with the video, same thing with getting into the tasks. Okay. All right. Got about, I mean, 2 minutes. I think I can go a little more than that. All right, I'm almost finished anyway. All right, so the next thing that I want to touch on, since we touched on forage, is let's just take a look at good old ChatGPT, right? How many people are already actively using ChatGPT? A thumbs up. Oh, look at that. I was saying get some smiles here. All right. Um, how many people, let me see here. I'm sorry, how many people are aware that you know, you can use, you're already, I'm sure many of you are already using ChatGPT for your resumes, which is excellent. Do that. Even your cover letters, excellent. Do that. But just make sure to tweak it to put it in your own words. ChatGPT, as many of you, I'm sure if you use it regularly, you'll know that it words things in a way that sometimes doesn't, for me, sometimes it sounds too formal sometimes. Doesn't sound in my own voice. Like sometimes I'll write things like, I may start off an email saying, like, hey, is it Corin? I may be saying your name wrong. I'm sorry. I say, hey, Corin. I might say, hope all is well, or just checking and see how you're doing. ChatGPT will come back and correct it and say, I am just checking on you. It wants to make it very grammatically correct, and I'm like, that's not my voice though. And Corin knows how yeah, I'm checking on, just checking on you, right? I don't need to get it right. I don't think Corin's going to take me to task on my grammar for that, right? She might though. She might, right? All right. So, but so be mindful of that. Now, with that being said, ChatGPT can also be used to create projects. Do you know that? How many people know that? You can use it to create projects for you to work on. Thumbs up if you know that. Very good. Okay, at least one person. All right. Let me show you really quickly what I mean by that. Let me show you really quickly. So let me go back to let me share this again. I'm here. Let's share. Let's go here. All right. All right. So here's my what can I help you with tab here. All right, now let's just say I want to work on a marketing analytics project. I'm going to copy a prompt that I already have. And let's just paste it in here. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. All right, so I put in this prompt. Hopefully some of you can see it. I said here, please create a marketing analytics project for my student to work on in the entertainment industry. The project should utilize, I'm going to get rid of Python because most of you here are business, so you're not going to use Python. I'm going to say Excel. Um, I'm going to say Excel. Let's just say Excel and Tableau. Excel and Tableau. So please create a marketing analytics project for my student to work on in the entertainment industry. You can say, please create a project for me to work on in the entertainment industry. The project should utilize Excel and Tableau. Additionally, please provide a data set from a fictitious company in a downloadable Excel format for me to use or for the student to use. Then I'm going to say the project should be designed to take no more than 5 hours to complete. So let's see what it does. I'm going to click on this, see what it does while it's thinking. Now, the reason why I like to do this is because you might say, Andre, you know what? That's forage is good and all. I took a look at forage. There's really no projects there that I really see that I want to do. And maybe I like a particular area in operations or logistics or human resources. And I really want to drill and hone in on that. And I just want to build out projects on my resume that just focus on that. Well, you're going to go to ChatGPT and you can say, create a project just for me. Create it for me. And these are the tools that I want to highlight and show to the recruiter. So here we go. Here, the project title, Entertainment Streaming Analytics, Customer Insights and Marketing Strategy. This is what you're going to work on. The objective, analyze customer viewing behavior, subscription types, and satisfaction to generate insights that can guide marketing strategies in the entertainment streaming industry. You're going to use Excel and Tableau. It's going to break down the project for you. You're going to do some data cleaning. You're going to do some descriptive analytics using these using pivot tables and these, I guess, these data sets here. Excel deliverable. Let's see. Then you're going to use Tableau to create dashboards. Find deliver. Oh, look. Let's see what this Excel file looks like. All right, give me 1 second. Let me see. Did it actually give me some data to work with? Entertainment and data set. All right, it's already 1 o'clock, but that's I can go a little longer. All right. Let's see. Let's take a look and see what did they give us for the data set. All right, let me go here. Come on, share. here, here. All right. So this is the data set that it's giving us to work with. Okay, how large is the data set? All right, so different categories here. We see age, the region, what device they're using, the subscription type they have, the genre they're watching, how many hours, and satisfaction score. Let me scroll down. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Wow, this is not bad. Okay, this is pretty much 200. All right. So 200 lines of data. That's not bad. That's a really, really, really good data set to work with, right? It's an excellent data set to work with. Let me go back to, so this, and it gave it to you. So you didn't, it used to be that you had to go searching for the data to use, and you go to Kaggle or something like that for the data set. So you get to do that with ChatGPT right there. Let me look at, let's see, I'm gonna do one more. Let's say I want to do maybe let's say maybe financial analytics. Let's see, I'm gonna get rid of Python again. No one in here is gonna use Python, but let's use Alteryx. So I'm gonna say, please create a financial analyst project for my student to work on in the healthcare industry. The project should incorporate the use of Excel, Alteryx, and Tableau. Additionally, please prepare a downloadable data set in Excel format from a fictitious company for the student to utilize. The project should take no longer than 5 hours. Again, let's click on that and see what it does this time. Okay, while it's thinking, um, let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so I've created a fictitious healthcare financial data set for your student to work on it. Here's the data set. The fictional company is called Well Life Healthcare Systems. It's a mid-sized healthcare provider. And what does leadership want? Leadership wants to understand financial performance across departments, patient types, and months to identify opportunities for cost savings and revenue growth. All right, I think I have a question here. Do you have to give credit for ChatGPT help? No, you do not. Excellent. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you're actually, it's just giving you the project to work on, and you're going to put that project on your resume. Again, you're going to use Excel for data cleaning and exploring, Alteryx to do data preparation and transformation, Tableau to create dashboards. It's going to give you your deliverables, and you're going to write this out on your resume in a way that you're going to be able to show recruiters, hey, look, maybe I have not yet had the experience to work in human resources yet, an HR analyst or an operations or a financial analyst or marketing researcher. But I have worked on projects like that, so I've touched these tools. I understand the concepts. I know how to work with data sets and the like, and this will work well for you with a recruiter. And I would say if you're someone who like I need projects on my resume because I'm transitioning, I would say try to put like a minimum 3 projects on your resume, right? And no, you don't have to give credit to ChatGPT. However, in your relevant project section, you can mention that these are projects from fictitious companies. So this way, the recruiter knows you're not lying to the recruiter. You're not saying, "Hey, this is something I worked at a real company." You're gonna just say this is a fictitious company, right? All right. So I think it's already 107. I did a whole lot of talking this time, right? You're like, man, this guy talks a lot, right? Um, so today, what do we, let me see, let this person back in. He got kicked out. Okay, so today, what do we touch on? We touched on just how to rethink your resume, how you want to reposition your resume, how you want to reformat your resume, and to do so, thinking of how you want to get inside the recruiter's head and how you want to set up your resume to successfully pass an applicant tracking system. We talked about how you want to think about your bullet points, making sure that you're quantifying things, showing outcomes. We even talked about how to position things on your resume, not putting your education first, but if you want to, putting a professional summary, then going right into your skill sets and the like. Um, we even talked about applications like JobScan, how to use that to analyze your resume. You can use ChatGPT to do that as well. But JobScan can help you edit it within the application itself. We talked about, looking at tools like LinkedIn Learning to learn certain areas such as Excel. We talked about like Tableau, the importance of knowing data analytics tools that you can get your hands on for free, like Tableau, Alteryx, right? Those two tools, um, and the like. And I really think if, especially being an MBA, if you can leave the program at an intermediate level in Excel, you know how to use Tableau, you know how to use Alteryx, it is truly going to set you apart because you not only do you have that business degree under your belt, and the MBA is going to give you a very good high level overview of how all the different business departments work. You're going to learn about, finance, maybe human resources, um, and the like, management. You'll have a very good high level overview of that. And on top of that, you'll have these skill sets, these tools under your belt. And by having that, you're going to reposition yourself that when you leave the MBA program, your resume should be stronger. You'll be stronger when it comes to the education you've learned. If you're working and going to school at the same time, you're going to be able to utilize these hopefully at your job. But the information provided today, God willing, um, it should help you level up. It should help you level up. That's the idea that we want for you. Okay. And last thing, I do have to, just because I know everyone loves, you just love um, doing surveys. We always want feedback. We always want feedback to make sure that um, get we know what you're thinking and how we can improve services to you. So let's do this. I'm going to put to everyone, here's a quick survey for you. If you can take the time to complete that, that gives us some, again, feedback on how we can improve programming that we have for you. All right. Now, everyone, you should have the links to the events we have coming up. And that should do it. I want to be respectful of your time. It's already 10 minutes after. Before I go, any last minute questions before I dash off?
I just have a question. I know that when we did the orientation, there was something that said that if you already have a resume, we can send it to
A
you
resume
guys,
book.
a resume book.
Yes.
So, do we just contact you directly to do that, or how do we?
Yeah, let me see if I can just drop it in here right now for you. Hold on, that's a good question. Thank you, Brenda. All right, let's see. Give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna load up. Okay, let's go here. Let's see here. Where do I have my resume book at? Let's see here. All right, I do have it. I just have to find. Oh, here it is. All right. Copy. Let's copy that. Okay, let me drop this in the chat, everyone. Okay. All right, there you go, Brenda and everyone. So that's the resume book link. We can upload your resume there. And that's usually reviewed by Michelle. And then she will go ahead and give you, she'll send it back to you if she wants to make any improvements, corrections to it. And then you send it back to her and we'll go ahead and include it in our resume book. All
Okay.
right. All right.
All right. Thank you so
You're so
much.
welcome. Any other
Thank you for the
question?
information.
You are so welcome. So welcome. Looks like that might be it for questions. Well, I do hope that the information you found it beneficial. Um, I hope you found it beneficial. And like I said, you can always make an appointment to see myself and Michelle, and you're going to do that through Beach Connect. Everyone's already familiar with Beach Connect in your dashboard already. Yeah, sort of kind of maybe, All right, so maybe the last thing I'll do, let me just put on the screen where Beach Connect is so you can actually see it. And then you can go from there. All right, so let me do this. All right, so share screen here. All right. So there you go. All right. So once you log into your dashboard, you should see an icon here that says Beach Connect. You click on that, and it'll open up, and that is where you can make an appointment with Michelle or myself. That's how you'll make an appointment. I'm not going to open it because on my end, it looks different since I'm not student facing. It looks different on the back end. So you look at what, but for you, you'll be able to see how to make an appointment if you want to do that. All right, everyone. So I've enjoyed spending the time with you. I look forward to seeing you at future events and just one-on-one appointments. So take care, everyone. It's already like 15 after. Again, want to be respectful of your time, and I'm going to head on out of here. This recording, I'm going to share it with Lindsay when it's uploaded, and we're actually going to upload it on our YouTube page as well. So you lot will be able to see our information sessions, workshops that we do on our YouTube page there as well. Okay. All right, everyone. Take care. Be good. And I'll see you next time. All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.